Teacher knowledge and behavior is the component of the model that focuses on teachers' knowledge of students and content and on their expertise in classroom management and pedagogy. Teacher knowledge is the element of teacher knowledge and behavior that encompasses knowledge of student characteristics and teachers' in-depth content knowledge and the blending of these to enhance learning. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model. A middle school music class in Carson, Iowa is collaborating with students from Sweden to compose an opera. The students work in committees on the music, the script, the set design, makeup and costume design, lighting, sound, and public relations. The teacher shows knowledge of student characteristics by addressing her students' visual spatial intelligence. The students create graphic representations of the costumes they design for the opera. This kind of artistic design helps students develop the capacity to visualize and graphically represent visual ideas.
They're doing 4 characters and you're doing 4 characters. Can you show me some of the drawings that you did?
This is Roy.
And is that one that you did or the Swedish kids did?
We did this.
Okay, and just tell me what he has on there, or will have on.
He has a green Nike shirt because they wanted Nike. He has Nike Lock shorts and Nike shoes and nothing.
Okay, so it kind of looks like an everyday young person.
The teacher's in-depth content knowledge is evident in her methods of instruction. Each committee engages in group work to complete its part of the opera. Members of the Public Relations Committee have to create the program that will be handed out to the audience members at the opera performances. They begin by brainstorming possible content and layouts.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want something that catches the eye because this does not catch your eye. And it's a block.
We could have our logo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a block. We need something that's going to catch
Riverside.
the audience's eye.
And Housing Board, 7th grade. They're 7th grade, right?
Yeah.
7th grade opera production. We can put the logo and then Riverside Housing Board 7th grade opera, and then put McCready Theater.
You can say something.
McCready Theater, the dates, and then the time at the bottom.
We could have the background different colors since that's what kind of makes it block.
Do you want to agree on your information first and then talk about the how you want it to look? Shall you approach it that way?
Yeah.
So far, what do you have on the cover?
On the cover, we wanted
Logo.
our logo and where and when.
Who's
Who's doing it?
Housing Board.
Yeah.
And then
The
McCready Theater.
Yeah, McCready Theater.
Do you want the name of the opera on the front page?
Above that should be above the logo.
Yeah, should.
Students from the Set Design Committee explain how they have used the software program Total 3D Home Deluxe to create a visual model of each set they need to design for the opera. The teacher once again demonstrates knowledge of student characteristics by addressing her students' visual spatial intelligence.
You just put in whatever you want it to look like. If you click there, and if you want a bed in it, then you click there, and it'll give you choices of beds, and then you just drag it in there. And you can also do elevation, and that's where you look at it, what you would see when you walk through the door. And this is like, if you walk through it, you can see what it's going to look like.
So this will be very helpful to us as directors. We can actually see where your furniture is, and the Swedish teachers can see that too, even before they come and know where things are going to be.
The teacher also shows knowledge of student characteristics by addressing her students' musical rhythmic intelligence. The teacher and students have to compose music to play during the opening scene when the actors are talking. The teacher gives the students a specific key and notes to use in their composition.
We worked through the first song that we wrote, and that's the one that we've been working with a little bit, the opening scene. And this is kind of a little jazz piece. Remember that piece that we were working on? And we decided that since there's quite a bit of dialogue there, and then there's a little bit of singing, that we would fill in with some little improvisational things. And that's what we had started to do last time. Let me just play the beginning of that just to review you on what that should sound like. This is a very opening part. And then the characters come in and they talk, and that walking bass keeps going all the way through on that part. Okay? So what we're going to work on, we're going to try and find at least 2 melodies that we can put in there underneath some of that speaking part, because it's a fairly lengthy part, and if it all pretty much sounds the same, it might get a little boring for the listeners. All right? And I think each of you are going to take, we have 4 conversations, you're each going to take one of those and play your little melody in between. Now, how are you going to determine what's going to go above this walking bass? You've got your notes. What would be a good way to figure out what that's going to sound like?
We have to have sort of jazzy.
All right, you want it jazzy, so the rhythm is important, isn't it? So you might want to just play your bass melody for a little while to get the feel of the beat, and then maybe clap a little beat, or ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, or think of some kind of a rhythm, and then maybe play with those notes a little bit until you find something that you really like. Okay? So that's what you're going to work on right now. So let's see what you can come up with. You can go ahead and put your headphones on and work on that a little bit, and let's see what we can do there. Have you got a little rhythm going, Gigi? You had something, okay. Can you clap it for us, or have you got something ready to play? Okay, do you want to try that together? I'll play the bass part and see if you can fit it in.
All right, I'll try.
Okay, I'll give you a couple times to get the beat here. Try it again. Yeah, okay, that's a good start. All right, great. Do you want to try it one more time?
After deciding on a melody, the students then use MusicTime software to compose the music on the computer so it can be sent via email to the students in Sweden.
How many times is it?
Da 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 bum bum.
High accident.
And you have to sharp that again. Da da da. So that, how about the next rhythm? Ba ba ba. Da 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 da. We know the next note's a D, right?
Yeah.
Da 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 da. An 8th note, because it's a syncopated da da ba. And I think your next note, I'm going to give you a big hint. It was a B flat. And it will be a quarter note, because we're going to write this syncopated rhythm.
The students on the script writing committee discuss the process of writing the script and lyrics for the opera. As they write the opera, the students use their verbal linguistic intelligence. The students also discuss disagreements they had with their counterparts in Sweden. The students use their interpersonal intelligence as they work together to resolve their differences. The teacher shows knowledge of student characteristics by designing a project that addresses multiple intelligences.
And we start by thinking, what do we want our theme to be? So we all agree on a theme, and then as soon as we get that established, we go right to a thesis.
What was the winner?
Relationships.
Okay.
And then after you establish a theme, you go on to a thesis. Our thesis this year is, what's our thesis?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Right, and was that the one we originally started out with?
No.
Why did we change it?
Because after we got into the whole writing process, we figured out that our thesis didn't exactly go along with our story. So we decided to change it after we asked Sweden about it, and they agreed that our thesis now went along much better than the one before.
How do you write? You mainly did the lyrics to the songs.
Yeah. Well, you start out.
You helped too.
Well, basically, when you go to write lyrics, you think about you write down every topic that you have to hit in the song, and then But what I do is I write the alphabet on my paper, and then I'll write like a phrase, and then I'll have to go up there and I'll think of something I have to make rhyme with that, but it still has to make sense. It's time consuming, but it's rewarding when you're done with it.
So most of our songs rhyme. They have a rhyme.
I kind of learned like you have to work together because we had to compromise a lot with Sweden and the other classes.
Yeah, we had a few frustrating moments after some of our conferences, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We found out we'd both written the same scene. And
Like for our title, they didn't exactly agree with us, and we didn't exactly agree with them.
but these are probably,
Yes.
yeah, probably skills you're going to use when you get in the workplace, do you think? Are you going to have to work with people and compromise?